Troubles, troubles, troubles. I hate troubles. I avoid, but troubles likes me. I can't avoid. Hitting a little toe on the table corner. Your computer decides to crash on the peak time. Having slow Wi-Fi or a big download. Submitting hard work made video on YouTube and not getting likes. Or getting disliked. Boot down. Then there comes the saviors. Like ice cream, stress bursting video games, bike rides, and theories. Theories. MBTI, right? Who doesn't love MBTI? Walks. You stinky fox, you walks. You wrote a singular article on MBTI and ruined it for all the scientific community out there with no mind. Now they all go over your article and say, Walks says so MBTI bad. You PewDiePie hater walks. You just took your finger and showed it into the fine art of MBTI and made it worse for people to rationally understand what MBTI is. Let me clarify. I don't hate walks, or I might because of its actions. See, MBTI is like an iceberg. Some people only know its surface portion, and Vox is the one who has put sticker on it, seeing the top portion. That it's not a lot of ice. Let us show that Vox finger right up its mouth where it can suck it. Get it? Because Vox baby. So, reading its article, they give us some stats and show MBTI is making money. Is that supposed to be wrong? Is making money wrong now? Anyways, Adam Grant says the characteristic measured by the test have almost no predictive power on how happy you will be in a situation, or how you will perform at a job, or how happy you will be in the marriage. And that is right. MBTI has no predictive power unless you count in the. Wait a minute. Do you guys even know what MBTI is? Let me tell you what MBTI basically is. It is what tells you how your brain works, what is natural to your brain and what is not natural to your brain. For example, it is natural for individuals to think extrovertedly, to apply logic on external pre-existing thoughts and question their validity. They do it all the time. What is not natural for them is to pursue their own emotions, which is FI. Don't worry about the mumbo jumbo right now. Just hang on. So MBTI tells you how to decide and how you take information naturally. Now, does it help predict the person's future? No. Unless you count in the personal journey of his life. You can't predict anyone's future with MBTI. If you know everything about a person, you will know whether he will think or express emotions, whether he will read into patterns or given data, or the sensory details. But you can't predict this unless you know their life story, what kind of person they are. It's like MBTI tells you the function of a person's mind, but you can't get a value from that function unless you know what the value of X and Y. That is why MBTI itself is not predictive in any situation. So the statement tells MBTI is not predictive, and this is the right thing, but it is telling it in a misleading manner. Doesn't mean that MBTI is useless. Next, the Vox article tries to manipulate us into peer pressure by saying that MBTI is thoroughly disregarded by the psychology community. This is a classic bandwagon fallacy. That's a real low border. I want statistics on that, please. Also, thorough disregard by the psychology community still doesn't prove it's useless or meaningless. There was once a time when we used to think that sun moves around the earth. Did it change the truth? No. Even Jung warned that his personal types were rough tendencies he observed, rather than strict classifications. Yes, at his time those were rough tendencies. Nobody said that a person with a certain type restricted to do only some things in life. They only say that he will find it natural functioning this way and not this way. But he can and will do everything in his life. It is not strict that a person is restricted to certain ways of functioning, but roughly some things will be natural for him and some things will be not. These natural or unnatural traits are rough. Several analyses have shown that test is totally ineffective at predicting people's success in various jobs, and that about half of the people who take it twice get different results each time. As I previously said, it is predictive, given that you know everything about a person's life, that which can't happen. So it's not predictive fully, but still not useless or meaningless. And half of the people that get different results each time, well, I do agree we certainly need to improve the test, but that doesn't mean the theory behind it or the things we are testing don't exist. That 16 personalities don't exist. Even these rough categories, though, don't come out of controlled experiments or data. Not all things that are science came out of controlled experiments or data, but they were tested by these. Further, Vox articles also condemns Miles Briggs for not having no formal training on psychology. On that note, Newton had a Masters of Arts degree. The thing said, who cares? Genius can come from anywhere. Not a valid argument again, Vox. still doesn't prove MBTI is meaningless. With most traits, humans fall on different points on the spectrum. Yes, that is right. That is why MBTI comes up. People have spectrum of what is natural to them and what is not natural to them. And that's what makes MBTI. There is no such thing as pure extrovert or pure introvert. Such a man would be in a lunatic asylum. Yes, and MBTI agrees. There is no such thing as pure extrovert or introvert. That is what is. It is just what is natural to a person, maybe looking into his mind or outside his mind. And in MBTI, both it's natural for yourself to do all. But MBTI just dictates in what way you do it. What for you're an extrovert and what for you're an introvert. Again, being an introvert only means you gain energy from your own space. Doesn't mean you don't talk to people. But the test is built entirely around the basis that people are all one or the other. That this is a completely strawman argument. It assumes that MBTI means that extrovert is a person who completely is always outgoing. No, what MBTI means is that the person whose most natural form is to do something in the external world, whose natural focus is on the outside world, doesn't mean that he will not look into the inside world ever. But they come from the disregarded theories of an early 20th century thinker who can believe in things like ESP and the collective unconscious. Ouch, says Jung. This is completely ad hominem of your walks, not a valid argument. Again, actual data tells psychologists that these traits do not have bimodal distribution. Actual data tells psychologists that these traits do not have a bimodal distribution. That is, if you're testing people based on these letters, E versus I, T versus F, if you see the distribution based on functions of one's mind, I tend to believe it will be multimodal. This isn't a test designed to accurately categorize people, but rather a test designed to make them feel happy after taking it. The test isn't supposed to make people sad after the result. It isn't supposed to say you're bad at this. It is supposed to tell them that you're natural at this, and you might not. This might not be your mind's forte. It's not a whip which says people are bad and others are good. It is a test which tells people are different, and it is okay to be different. This is called Forer effect, and it's a technique long used by purveyors of astrology, fortune telling, and other sorts of pseudoscience to persuade people to have accurate information about them. Again, do I have to repeat myself? The Myers-Briggs is largely disregarded by psychologists. Does that mean MBTI is meaningless? No. Classic bandwagon policy. Among other things, it charges between $15 to $40 each person who wants to take the test. Or take it, or you can take it free on websites such as 16 personalities. I mean, whatever you jealous fox. All the other things in the article repeat certain fallacies, which I will not go over. Now that we have quietened the angry jealous baby fox, I have a task for you. Go into the comments and describe why you think MBTI is useless, and I'll try my best to find the logical fallacies in your argument or enlighten you further. I don't want to convert you into MBTI, but if we don't exchange ideas, what's the point of humanity learning, right? Adios, fellas.